Hey everybody, today we are going to make pizza, but we're going to make it a little bit differently than what you normally see in the pizza business. So we've got a pound of dough that we bought from the supermarket, and what we're doing is flattening it out. But here's what I'm going to do. It's a little bit different. I'm going to cut it in half, then have two pizzas out of it. Now, why would you cut it in half? Because if you like crispy pizza, it's much easier to have the corners on a smaller, people like to pick up pizza with a handle, not from the middle. So they like the end cuts. So what we're doing is making two pieces of pizza, two smaller pizzas, and then that way there, it also gives you the option to change the toppings on it, because some people like pepperoni pizza, some people like hamburger pizza, some people like vegetarian pizza. By doing it this way, you have the opportunity to do that. Now, you notice I'm not using a rolling pin at all here. So you're just stretching it a little bit with your hands and putting it into the size that you want. Some people like a round pizza. Some people like a rectangular pizza. Some people like the square, thick cut pizza. This way here, you've got the opportunity also to change the thickness of it. Some people, again, have different ways that they like it. But I'm doing things a little bit differently today, in that I am going to pre-cook the crust before adding any of the toppings. So what I do is take some olive oil and put it on the crust and mix it all over the crust, okay? Then what I do is get some garlic powder and some Italian seasoning, okay? Again, this is product that you can get in any supermarket. This happened to come from Walmart. And what I do is put the Italian seasoning on the totally raw crust. Real simple to do. Okay? And the garlic powder as well. So now what I'm going to do is take that pizza and put it. Some people like a pizza tray, the traditional pizza tray. I like these trays that have basically mesh, because it allows me, again, I like a crust that is crisp. So this allows me that capability to have a crust that is crispy. So form it on here. Don't worry about getting right to the edges, because it's all gonna get eaten. All gonna get eaten. There'll be no waste, promise you, even if it hangs over just a little bit. So there's that, and now we slide it into the oven. So what I'm doing is going to put it into a hot, this is a small convection oven, and we're putting it on the top shelf because I want to get that crust nice and cooked. So for those of you that like a pan style pizza, again, here's what we do. We take our pan, put some olive oil on the pan in order to not have it stick. And again, get right around those edges too. Okay, and then we take our dough and put it into the pan. Again, nothing is scientific here. If you like a little crust, keep a little crust out right there. Then what we're going to do is oil up our dough again. Get that oil, spread all around the pizza. And then our garlic salt, garlic powder in this case, which you can't see that well. And then our Italian seasoning. And then that will go in the oven just like the other one. And then proceed the same way with that. Now, after about 4 minutes in the oven, you can see what we've got. It's a crust has been formed, and we're ready now to apply our toppings. So now we're ready to add our sauce, and many people have a wide variety of different ideas of what kind of sauce they like, but we're just taking canned sauce, and again, because we have so many spices on the pizza itself, we don't necessarily have to add them. Now, some people have a tendency to overspread, to overuse sauce, too much sauce. I'm not a big sauce person, but I like the flavor that it provides. You can see the Italian seasoning there already. So, now we've got it sauced. Now, toppings, again, everybody has a different opinion. In this particular case, we're going to use pepperoni. And again, you can chop the pepperoni like I've chopped some turkey kielbasa, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. But let's get the pepperoni put on. A couple more slices. Again, don't skimp on the toppings. Not what you want to do. So there we go. Now, I chopped up some turkey kielbasa a little bit earlier. You could use Italian sausage. You can use whatever you want. In this particular case, I'm using what I have in the refrigerator. And for cheese, some people like an abundance of cheese. Some people like it lightly cheesed. Again, the beauty of this recipe is that use whatever you want. Now, in this particular case, I've used mozzarella, but I'm also supplementing it with some Munster cheese that I chopped up and I'm spreading on it now. So, there's the cheese. We'll probably add a little bit more cheese halfway through the cooking, but that's that. And also, never too much seasoning. A little bit more seasoning before we put it back into the oven. With our mesh pizza tray, we're going to put this in the oven. I'm going to watch this 3-4 minutes, and then we will finish seasoning the pan pizza. So here we go. Oh, by the way, the oven is about 450. It's one of those convection slash microwave slash whatever. Everybody's got a different kind, but this is so much easier than using the big oven. So we'll watch it for about 7 or 8 minutes. So it's time to give it that check. I think it's about ready. My gut tells me it's ready. I have no timers set, but let's see how we're doing. There we go. Look at it sizzling. Can you see the way it's sizzling? And I think this baby is just about done. Let's put this on the counter and finish our other pizza. And then we'll be ready to compare. So now it's time to check on our pan pizza. And let's see. Ooh. See the way that crust is formed? The dough is risen, whatever you want to call it. And let's take this over. We'll finish seasoning that right now. So here we go. Let's add a little bit of sauce. That's all we need. Just a little bit. And by the way, leftover sauce, just put it in a baggie and freeze it. Not all at once, but you know how much you use for each pizza. And just label it pizza sauce so you don't mix it up with your pasta sauce, which usually has a lot of meat in it. So we're gonna just add a little bit more here, and then get ready for the cheese. And I'm gonna just coat these edges just a little bit so they have they don't get burnt. And here we go. We get a little bit of sauce on the edges. And then, in this case, I'm gonna add a little bit of Munster cheese for a little bit additional flavor. You can also get the grated Parmesan cheese. I'll get that right now. The grated Parmesan from the supermarket. Sprinkle that on. It covers all the nooks and crannies. Remember that from the... By the way, nooks and crannies. What was the English muffin company that made that term famous? Nooks and crannies. Now, we've got a little bit of the kielbasa left over. We're going to add to it. And in this particular case, what I did with the pepperoni is I chopped it up. And again, it's the same product, but these recipes are so versatile. Some people like the little $half size, and some people like it this way. So there we go with our toppings. Let's move them all around, try to disperse them equally, and then top it off with mozzarella. Mozzarella. Remember, never pour it on. Always put it into your hand and move it around. And we're going to put that in the oven. Again, we don't want to say 7 minutes. We don't want to say 8 minutes. We just want to say till we think it's ready to go. And here's our pan pizza, all done. Ready to take it out and put it right here with its cousin, the round pizza. So, whether you like a thicker pan pizza or a thinner round pizza, either way, try this new recipe of pre-cooking the dough, and I'm sure you'll find it to be very satisfying. And if you like this, please, 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 please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. Now, let's eat.